Hey guys, Brian here from Solid Woodworks. So I just wanted to show you my most recent little van project. It was actually for a friend's Moto van that he uses to get his dirt bikes around in. And I just want to show you a couple of cool little features that we threw in it to help him make his camping and moto adventures and days out of the track a little better. So as you can see, it's a Ford E350, lifted a little bit, some nice off-road tires and whatnot. In the back, he's got just the wall. I did not do this part. It was already there. You can see there's a wall in there, so you can fit a couple dirt bikes in here, 2, even 3 in the middle. So I'll show you a couple cool little things real quick. He's also a surfer. So the previous owner of this van, before he bought it, had this kind of big old shelf in here. I'll show you on the other side. It's a little shelf thing. But he wanted to cut this in half so he can actually fit a longboard surfboard through here. So I just helped him with that, put a little latch on the side, flipped it down so you can actually fit a longboard all the way through up into the front area there. You know, obviously a longboard, surfboard 8 to 10 foot long or something. Nice latch to keep that up nice and closed. Now coming back here, I redid the side panels down here because he had this little open space that he would throw a bunch of oils and cleaners and stuff in. So I just kind of truck bed lined that and put that in there. On this side, he wanted something a little bit different. So we actually installed a nice little flip up table right there so you can set some parts or tools or beers or whatever he's doing. I also installed a little 12 volt and a USB right here so you can actually charge his phones or plug in a small inverter or air compressor, different things like that. All this was wired to a battery. I'll show you in a minute up front. Threw a bottle opener in there for him, made sure that the door lock was still accessible. One other cool feature he really wanted to do is, so sometimes when he's out at races and stuff or at night or working on his bikes, he has his bikes out here, so he wanted some light onto the bike. So I installed these cool little movable, as you can see, they twist a little bit like this. LEDs, one there and one back here. So these will also be cool because if the doors were shut, you can actually flip them on from the inside if you go into the back of the cab real quick to get something back there. So super easy, take very little power. And I'll show you up front what kind of electrical system I installed to help it make it a little better and more comfortable for him. Same thing with this. Pop these guys. Takes 2 hands. There we go. Shut that. Now coming around to this side, show you what we did in here. Alright, so before all of this, all he had was the classic rear bench seat that comes with the Ford Econoline vans. But he wanted some sort of system that was able to have storage underneath with food and maybe a cooking setup, and then a little bench seat that he can kind of hang out on or get his gear on, and then it kind of slides out to a bed. So first off, I want to show you, he had a subwoofer back here, so I kind of had to work around that. He wanted to keep that, so I actually rebuilt the box with a subwoofer inside of it still. So there's one here and one on the back side as well. Remounted the amp, and this is a dual battery isolator that I installed, which will charge his extra battery while the vehicle is driving, you know, and the alternator is charging. It takes all the extra power that the starter battery doesn't need and charges the auxiliary battery. So over here installed a voltmeter, USB port, and 12 volt, so that if he's here in the bed mode, which I'll show you in a second, he can actually plug some stuff in, or any passengers back here can plug some devices in. So with the bed system, I went with the slatted style, as you can see, and there's 2 handles here, and the whole thing just slides out like this, stops, and there's your bed system. So you'll have a piece of cushion here and on the back, which he wants to get himself, and that will, once it slides out, that cushion will stay here, and then the back cushion will slide down and create the entire bed setup. I thought it was a pretty cool idea, super simple setup. Down here, I put down a 3/4 floor and put down some of this little rubber diamond plate looking stuff, a nice little L aluminum angle around here. Thought that kind of was a cool little touch, just so that anything that's dirty and whatnot, go down here, wet stuff, throw a wetsuit down here, super simple. So on the drawer setup, they're actually 5-foot long drawer guides, which I'll show you in a second here. They're locking tabs. Let me set the GoPro down. Push these down, pull it out, okay? So you can hear it's hitting like the locking mechanism, so pull it out until it locks. Set that down again. There we go, locked into place. You can see it's locked into place by this little system here. So that keeps it locked out into the full extension mode here. So as I said, these are 5-foot drawer guides because we thought we were going to possibly do a big drawer before he wanted to keep his subwoofer in there. And then you can see back there the subwoofer box, the battery, and there's also a little fuse block back there that fused all those different 12-volt accessories that I put in. And he is able to actually run a couple more things through that. There's 3 more slots in that fuse block. So this is the kind of kitchen table setup. Yes, it is a little tall, but it just kind of wanted to maximize space underneath that bed area, so it's kind of just the height it came out to be. And the way I created this to make it, I think, multi-use, which came out in my eyes pretty good, and he came by a little bit ago, he's pretty stoked on it. I put in these kind of flip-up hinges that you'll see here in a second that makes it so that if you have anything on top of here, you don't have to move it to get into the storage underneath. So this is how it works. So you just lift this piece up, and there it goes. So you can see these hinges, or kind of actuator functioning things that I've found online. I'll have links to a lot of these things that I have used in this build in the description below. A lot of people ask me, where'd you get this, where'd you get that? Just look in the description below of this video and you'll find links to all these different things and where I purchased them. So that kind of doubles as a cool little thing where you can actually get to stuff down here. You still have this space, if you have your laptop, cooking or whatever. Yeah, it's a little tall, but it's just, as I said, how it is. This thing comes back down like that, goes flat. Extra little compartment right here because this was inset for that battery, so I thought might as well have an extra little bit of storage right there. Same thing to shut the drawer. You're gonna have to click both the guides here, slide it in all the way, and there she is. So I actually angled this little back piece right here so that when he does get his cushions, the back has a little bit of an angle to it, so it's a little bit more comfy for people, sitting back here when he's hanging out, getting all his gear on and stuff. So all in all, nothing too crazy, but it was a really clean, fun build. Cool to do something for a buddy, and then I'll probably go out riding with him, so it'll be cool to see him actually using it. One last thing, actually, I did add another LED light up here, as you can see, so that's nice for when he has his cooking area out, and he can actually spin this thing all the way around. These lights are epic and light up his inside area without using the internal lights of the car. So all in all, smooth build. Really enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. If you want to get in contact, my email is down below in the description, so please reach out if you're interested in any builds of your own. And thanks for watching. See you next time.